Total War fans, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. Just been taking a bit of a break from YouTube, which even the most diehard uploaders need occasionally. But for now, wanted to talk about Jason Voorhees a little bit, the infamous serial killer from the Friday the 13th series, and his recent release on Mortal Kombat X. Been messing around with him a bit, and this video really isn't going to be super in-depth, but I did want to talk about a few things on his slasher variation. So one of the first things I noticed when I hit the lab with him yesterday was that he punishes like a truck. We're going to go into recording here and watch some of these combos. I mean, he really hits really hard. Mid-screen, he has some really easy bread and butter combos that can hit 40% damage with a jump and punch, and I discovered that within like 5 minutes of actually booting up practice mode. I mean, that's Kung Jin level kind of damage right there. And his reach in slasher mode with the jump and punch and the neutral jumps, and just in general the range on his normals, are really good and pretty comparable to what Kung Jin has as well. Now, I do plan on going in-depth with Kung Jin and Melina, who are my two mains at the moment, but Jason has been a lot of fun so far, and I'm thinking about picking him up as well. Now, for that Kung Jin comparison I'm talking about, he's nowhere near as good as Kung Jin. I'm going to talk more about Kung Jin later on if I do make a video about him, but Kung Jin is arguably the best character in the game at the moment, best reach on his normals, pretty ridiculous character, safe on a lot of things, has really good mix-ups and really good combo starters. Jason's not at that level. Not even close, I don't think. But he is a lot of fun. So, a couple interesting things to talk about on Slasher Jason. A lot of his strings are cancelable into Hack and Slash, which is his EX Machete Walk right here. This is pretty important because his back 1-2-2 string and forward 4-2 string, which are the main strings you'll probably be using to start your combos, are -9 and -11 on block, respectively, which means they are relatively punishable in a game with minimal lag. If you're in a game online where there's a lot of lag, those things aren't really punishable, and bad players aren't going to punish you for using them, but good players will if they block those strings. So that's where Machete Walk comes in. If you notice your opponent blocks the first hit of either of those strings, you can cancel into your EX Machete Walk, which is going to leave you at -6 on block, which only the fastest normals in the game can punish. It also does 6% damage on chip, which is quite a lot and builds a lot of meter. So this EX Machete Walk right here is a really good special, has a lot of uses, so use it on wake up or to make unsafe strings safer. His bread and butter mid-screen is actually really simple. There are higher damaging combos, I'm sure, but you can easily get 36% with forward 4-2, forward 4-2, forward 4-2, 1-1, down forward 1. Very easy combo with a bit of practice, but it does 36% damage with no meter at mid-screen, which is really high damage. Another bread and butter combo that you just saw me do is the back 1-2-2 neutral jump punch into back forward 2-1-1, down forward 1, and that's going to work mid-screen or in the corner, and that is going to do I think like 32% damage, something like that. Very easy bread and butter combos for him because his slasher, or the machete, gives him a lot of range on his normals, and the launcher is quite good. And I mean, he really does, like I said, hit like a truck. My strategy with Jason has basically just revolved around zoning with his machete projectile, which is right there. Pretty good projectile. Mid hitting does 2% chip, and I think maybe 10% on hit. And it has a pretty big hitbox as well, so someone who's jumping is probably going to get knocked out of the air by that as well. And basically what I've been doing is just zoning with the machete projectile until my opponent gets in close, and they're going to do unsafe stuff to try to stop that zoning because it can get pretty annoying. Once they get inside, just punish any unsafe stuff they do with a forward 2-2 or 4-4-2 starter that launches, and you can do a lot of damage that way, 36% or 40% off of forward 4-2. And again, remember that those punishes hurt a lot. So you can do a lot of damage with them. You can really make somebody cry when they get in close and do unsafe stuff. He does have some problems, I feel. His run speed is really slow compared to a lot of other characters in the cast, or at least it seems a lot slower than others. And his tools to get inside on a zoning opponent aren't great in slasher variation. His other variations, which I'm not going to talk about in this video, he does have some more tools. He has to teleport, and he does have this armor move, which I'll talk about in a second. Actually, we'll talk about that now. I don't like Killing Machine at all. That's what this is. Basically gives you unlimited armor while you are in Killing Machine, But the problem with it is that once it runs out, you get a debuff where you're kind of frozen for about a second and a half. It's a really long time, and your opponent can punish you when you're in that state really, really hard. So basically, you're just going to want to use that at the end of a round when you have a big life lead and you want to close out the round. But a good player is going to stay away from you during the time you're in Killing Machine, and you can't jump. If you can see, like, I can jump right now. As soon as I go into Killing Machine, I'm jamming on up right now, and I can't jump. So you have the armor, which is really nice. You have unlimited armor, but you go to sleep, and then your opponent's going to punish you for it. So I don't like that very much unless you have a big life lead and you can risk it. But I'm sure some people will find situational uses for it. Like I was talking about, his tools to get inside on a zoning opponent aren't great in slasher mode, at least. I got absolutely wrecked and actually flawless by a summoner Quan last night. Partly because I have no matchup experience versus good Quan Chi players, and partly because Quan Chi is just a ridiculous character in general right now, probably one of the best in the game, but also partly because Slasher just doesn't have a lot of tools to get inside, doesn't have a teleport, he just has the armor and basically just blocking and trying to eventually get in. So that can be pretty hard. Jason is really fun though. I suggest you give him a try, and I'm going to be leaving a bunch of matches after this commentary for you guys to watch. There were some really good ones in that, so I'll keep those in the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you all later. Eddie Prize signing out.
Round 1, fight. The wise know when to yield. Round 2, fight! Your pain was predestined. Final round, fight! Finish him! Jason wins.